this computer. So Motto, good afternoon. A massive thanks for joining myself. Massive thanks for joining us on the 23rd of June. So for the listeners out there who haven't come across yourself, I know you mostly through PPN, Stratford International. That's the meet which you host under the Progressive umbrella. You're one of the speakers who talks about creative strategies. Of course, you're not just a speaker, you're someone who actually takes a huge amount of action since being at university. Do you want to just elaborate on what creative strategies means to you and what strategies are working in the current market?
Okay, thanks for having me, and look forward to being part of your networking event on the 23rd. So creative strategies, I know a lot of people, when they come into property, most people tend to run out of money when it comes to deposits and raising finance. So creative strategies are ways of understanding where value is either created or where you're offering value in return for maybe equity. So you've got different types of strategies, maybe lease options, vendor finance. These are the ones that most people know, but there are other ones as well where you can use things like gifted deposits, you can use cashbacks, etc. So there are many different creative strategies, and a few of them people know about, but there's quite a few that the majority don't know about. So I'd like to elaborate on some of those.
And that's what you'll be doing on the 23rd of June at the Central London Property Network. So what got you into property when you were at university in the first place, Motto? And why property? Because there's so much talk about right now. You know, my Facebook page is filled up with alternative investment strategies as well.
Definitely. Look, I wasn't originally in property. I used to invest in market stall holders, purchasing their stock and taking a share of the profits. And that's where it actually started from. One of my market stall holders, also a friend from university, had a part-time job in an estate agent, and seeing what I was doing with the other market stall holders, told me that I should be investing like his boss was in property. And that's what got me interested. So I had a look a bit further into it. But unfortunately, my first attempt at property wasn't great because I got gazumped. And over time, I thought it was the worst strategy to do because it's quite expensive. But watching the market, one thing with property always over the long term goes up. And seeing how the market had gone up after 3 years, it was just the right thing for me to do. And started in property. And as I said, after the first one, ran out of money, but needed to find ways of purchasing more.
So, Motto, some people, when they can't fund anymore, may stop. So what creates that hunger? And I noticed Progressive had maybe it's yourself who's written it or Progressive, but there was a preamble about you retired and then you came back into property. So what is the hunger when you could just be lying on a beach somewhere potentially, or just chilling out really, rather than looking at more and more strategies? Is it the fact that you like to be creative? Is it the fact that you like more wealth? What's the reason why? The why question.
For me personally, the first attempt at property, it was about financial freedom. But I feel once you get to financial freedom, it becomes more of a why. What are you good at? What is it that you enjoy? And what is it, maybe your purpose? For me, the thing I enjoy most is creating and structuring deals. So where somebody else might go in and they can't see a way of making a deal happen, it's like a bit of a challenge for myself to try and find a way to make it happen. And we're always looking for a win-win situation. So I'm not in a way where I want to go into a deal, make sure that somebody else is going to be a loser, and I'm going to walk away happy. It's about getting a win-win situation out of that deal where everybody walks away happy. And that is actually very often quite difficult to do. But once you do achieve it, you get a sense of fulfillment out of it.
And Motto, so fulfillment is the key word, I would say there. What do you think you'll be sharing on the evening of the 23rd? The event takes place in London Bridge. It's easy to get to. whatever line you're using, whether you're using the Tube or the new Elizabeth line. It's not too far from Liverpool Street. You've got the Uber boats as well, so easily accessible by National Rail, whether you're coming from the south from Gatwick, or whether you're coming from the north from Luton as well. But what do you think some of the key takeaways will be on the 23rd of June?
Some of the key takeaways will be, why would somebody want to sell you something for maybe below market value? Or why would somebody give you a deal in the way we might structure it? So a lot of the time I hear people wanting to do lease options, but rather than looking for a lease options, it's a tool. So if you understand what it's used for as a tool, it makes it much more easier to find those solutions or the problems where this solution will solve it.
Motto, I really look forward to seeing you on the evening, and I look forward to seeing you, whoever you are, who you're listening to this now, whether you're an architect, investor, whether you're a developer. It's your chance to come along to the Central London Property Network, showcase what you do as well in property, and connect with some of the leading people in the space of property. Thank you, Motto.
Thank you.